About 80 years. So I'm 16 years old, and Sammy here is 96. So we have an 80-year difference, which I think is pretty great. And here's somebody who knows the ins and outs, and he has so much musical experience. So we're really blessed to talk with him today, and for visiting with him in the first place. So Sammy, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to talk to you today.
It's my pleasure. It's really my pleasure. So what's up?
Okay.
I'll do what I can.
Thank you. So I guess I'll just start out by asking you, and some of these questions I've already said, but if you could explain to the interview your when you started out with music.
8 years old.
8 years old.
8 years old. That's when I started. And I played in the Newberry band when I was 10 years old, and the Verdi band when I was 10 years old. Mm-hmm. That's when I played in them band.
And you play, name some of the instruments you play, if you could.
Well, I played, when I joined them bands, I played the E-flat clarinet. Because I was just a small kid, I couldn't reach the holes on a B-flat clarinet. So they started me out with an E-flat clarinet so I could reach the holes.
Yeah.
So that's the way I started out. And as I got older, I could reach the holes. And back when I went to service, that's when I switched. I went to B-flat clarinet. Because they had an E-flat clarinet player in the band, the Air Force band. So I switched to B-flat, and that's when I started playing B-flat clarinet.
Yeah.
But I always, and then from there I learned the saxophone. From the, I never took a lesson on saxophone because it's almost the same thing. I mean, so I just went on with that. So that's what I've done. Not that although I used to teach a lot of kids, I have taught a lot of kids. Clarinet, that's all I ever taught, and that's just clarinet.
Wow.
I used to teach a lot of, in fact, like I said, that guy got in the hallway there. He was one of the best musicians in New York, Dave Tafani. I taught him. So I felt honored, him being there.
Yeah. Like, as far as you being associated with music, not only have you taught, but you've performed. So between teaching people and performing, what would you say was the most rewarding? What out of teaching and out of playing, which felt the best?
Well, I thought having my first job, up at the Antlers up there. I was up there 41 years up at the Antlers Club. So that was the most rewarding, because seeing people dance and them smiling and carrying on, that was making people happy. That was my most rewarding.
Yeah. So as your years as a musician, have you always felt appreciated by your audience and by your students?
By the audience, I was always appreciated. The audience. Yep. I enjoyed playing for people.
Yeah.
That was the thing. Although I play around here a lot yet, to take out my sax if I'm depressed or anything. I'll take out my horn and just blow it a little bit, and I go to the bathroom. So I get the sound coming back to me. Did you ever play clarinet or sax?
I haven't played them formally, but I blew into them.
I always go to the bathroom and play mine. Not because she doesn't like it. It's because I get the sound coming back at me.
Yeah.
I'm looking in the mirror. I'm looking at the amateur what I've got. And that's where I've always played, right in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Even when I'm taking lessons, I'm reading my book, I go in the bathroom. That's what I do. Not because she doesn't like it, because I get the sound coming back, and I'm getting the tone I want, and get the amateur I want. That's what I do.
Wow.
But I don't do it anymore. because I'm good now.
At what age did you join the service, and how did that transform your life as a musician?
Well, I got that. I'll never forget when I was drafted, my dad said, take the clarinet with you. And I said, I'm not allowed to take it with me. I'm only allowed to take shorts, pants. And my dad said, I don't care, you take it. So I took my clarinet. So what happened, when I was stationed in St. Petersburg, Florida. So a bunch of other guys got together playing, because other guys was there from other states, and trumpet and guitars. We all played. This officer came through, said, this is just what I'm looking for. I need entertainment out of the park. Because the guys that was supposed to entertain, they shipped out. And we said, well, we never played together. And he said, sounds good enough for me. And he had a bar on his shoulder. To us, he looked like Jesus. So we said, we better go. So we went over to the park and we played the concert. So now, and I told that officer afterwards, I said, now, I did you a favor. How about trying to get me in a band someplace? He said, well, I'll see what I can do. A week later, they called and I was shipped to Scottsfield. All alone, they put me on a train. I went by myself. So I went to Scottsfield, and that's how I got in the band. So I played the Air Force band for 3.5 years.
Wow.
So I was lucky. I was lucky, but that's what I did.
And did you know that you wanted to be a musician as a kid, or did you make that decision in the Air Force?
Yeah, the reason why everybody in our family was musicians. Everybody. My sister was a guitar player. My older brother played trombone. My next brother played trumpet. The next guy, he played the drums. And then I'm crying with my dad. I said, how about me? I want to play something too. So and he said, well, okay. So he didn't even buy a clarinet here. He sent away for an E-flat clarinet because my fingers wouldn't reach the holes on a B-flat.
Yeah.
It wouldn't reach it. So I got myself an E-flat clarinet, took lessons, and in fact, I played in the Very band here, and the Railroad band, and then Scottsfield band I played.
Yeah.
Scottsfield. So I enjoyed every bit of it. Every bit of it. Because, especially now, and then we played at the docks when the prisoners of war was coming in. The German prisoners. We played for them coming in. That was interesting. Seeing a bunch of them, and most of them was kids. There was a bunch of kids coming in from Germany. I played there. Yeah, so that was my thing. But I enjoyed every bit of it.
Wow.
Every bit of it.
Great.
Yep.
So you said that everybody in your family were musicians.
Yeah.
Which leads me to a question that I ask everybody. Do you think that music picked you, or that you picked music?
I picked music. That's because everybody in my family was playing something.
Yeah.
So I wanted to play, so I picked it.
Yeah.
I picked it. Otherwise, I'd have never. But like my dad was a musician. They were all musicians. I said, "How about me?" So then I started playing. Like I said, the clarinet. And I was so small, I had to play the E-flat clarinet because I could reach the holes.
Yeah.
You know the difference between an E-flat and B-flat? B-flat's the long clarinet. Yeah. E-flat's the short one. So I played that. In fact, then I got myself a saxophone. My dad bought me, at that time, I didn't know that it was a good horn. He bought me a small saxophone, and that was a soprano saxophone. I didn't realize it, because I was just a kid. And then as I went on, in fact, you at lunch walk, if you ever watched that guy pick up a soprano saxophone, just a small soprano. And I had one, I thought it was for the kids.
Great. I guess I'll ask another one. I ask a lot of people. How do you think music connects the past?
Music from the past? What do you mean?
How do you think? What do you when you think of music?
I love it.
Yeah.
Music. Well, I'll sit around here with the radio. Just music.
Mm-hmm.
Music is basic. That's the best. Well, she always has the radio on in the kitchen going all the time. It stimulates. Well, it makes you feel better. You got music. Well, we would put them in dog cages to make them feel good. Yes, they'll put music in the dog cages.
Yeah.
For the cats and all that. Music that is the best. Music. It make you feel good. Well, even when I was in the hospital, I always had that radio on. That made me feel better. It made me relax.
Mm-hmm.
Music makes me relax. So we always have it on around here, always.
Yeah. Great.
So, and well, like I say, and then what usually happened, the Verdi band, they was on Canal Street. I was just a kid, 7, 8 years old. We used to stand there in the door and listen to them rehearse. And I go home to my dad, I said, I want to play in that band. You can't, you're too small. I said, no, I'm not too small. So he gets me small E flat. That was small, that's all I could reach. And that's how I got started. My lessons, I took lessons from Giuseppe Biffarella. He was one of the greatest teachers around here in my time. So we took lessons $3 a month to take lessons at that time, $3 a month.
Yeah.
And that's how I got to play. I played out that Brandon Park band shell when I was 12 years old. I played that band shell. But today, you'll find a lot of kids playing out there now, 10 and 12 playing a band, but our days you didn't. But
Yeah.
I played that shell when I was 12 years old.